Beautiful song right there by David Dam. No eye has seen, no ear has heard. Amazing song. And this is bringing us to 35 minutes past 7. And it's time for us to have a look at the newspapers, see what is being reported this morning. And I'm going to start us off with the Standard. And the very top story here is Killer Squad boss. Remember, there is a story that is trending at the moment about the late Albert Ojwang, who is believed to have been murdered in police custody. And the news here today is telling us extrajudicial killings. Is Deputy Inspector General Eliud Lagat the man pulling the strings behind a shadowy police hit squad? With influencer Albert Ojwang's dead in police custody and two more bodies found mutilated in Elgeyo Marakwet, outrage is boiling over. From parliament to protest lines, calls are mounting for Lagat to resign and face justice. As the DIG's grip tightens, a nation demands to know, is Kenya's second-in-command officer the real godfather of extrajudicial terror? Quite a big story right there, covered on pages 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 of the Standard newspaper. And more on the same, I see Douglas Kanja, the Inspector General of Police here, saying there was a complaint that had been launched by the DIG KPS about his name being tarnished. It is on that basis that investigations were being carried out, because he also has a right to be protected by the same law. Ojwang was arrested in Homa Bay on Saturday and driven to Nairobi only to be reported dead on Sunday. Quite unfortunate. And I see DIG Eliud Lagat speaking on May 25th in Total Elgeyo Marakwet after the murder of Father Alois Bet. He has said, the elders have said you need 3 days and I have agreed with that. You say tomorrow is on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and we are watching you. I am hoping we'll get those involved on Thursday. It will not be business as usual. We will not agree. This is when two men were abducted in Tot. Their mutilated bodies were later found in Mogosho. That's a story covered on the Standard newspaper. And moving on to what else is on the Standard, I see real estate, land for sale, buying land, steps to beat fraudsters at their own game. And that's a story covered on the Standard this day. And I believe that this will relate to a lot of people, because I think many complain that, you know what, they bump into people who dupe them of their money. But moving on, just looking at what else the Standard Digital is highlighting, I see here, don't rush to blame Lagat, says DCI Chief Amin in Albert Ojwang's death. So that is the counter comment that is coming in. I also see IPOA releases names of 5 officers linked to Ojwang's arrest. Then blatant disregard of law led to Albert Ojwang's killing, says Kipchumba Murkomen. Remember, we highlighted yesterday that there was a bit of a silence from Kipchumba Murkomen and also the President William Ruto. But this day I see that Murkomen has made a statement, says that this is a blatant disregard of the law that led to Albert Ojwang's killing. And lastly, Kanja was then asked to apologize to the Senate and the whole country. So this is starting off from the budget 2025-2026, being asked to stay tuned for the full coverage, of course. But Kanja was then asked to apologize to the Senate and the whole country for issuing misleading information about Ojwang committing suicide by hitting his head on the wall while in custody, because now this makes the story even bitter, because now it's like, okay, we got a different information, but then the autopsy report gave us a different verdict. And moving on, allow me to get a glimpse of what is also being reported on the Daily Nation. And the top story here is Lagat under siege. Of course, that is a duplicate of what we find on the Standard. I see here senators are shocked by revelation that CCTV footage at Central Police Station has been tampered with. Quite interesting. And I see Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen and Security Chief spent 7 hours at the Senate being quizzed over the murder of Albert Albert Ojwang while in police custody. As the storm raged, Deputy Inspector General of Police Elliot Lagat, whose complaint triggered the arrest of the slain teacher, faced the wrath of senators, opposing leaders and civil society activists who demanded he steps aside to allow for the probe. A story covered on pages 2 and also 3. And moving on the Daily Nation still, I see Ruto Raila first budget. Treasury Cabinet Secretary George Mbadi presents his maiden expenditure estimates for the broad-based government, and this is a story covered on pages 6 all the way to 7. We see some of the winners also highlighted, and you can look at that story in more detail. And maybe lastly, just looking at one more story here, I see we have the CBE Connect star actress who loves science and math. Now look at that story inside the CBE magazine. Starting today and every Thursday, enjoy your weekly insert with informative content on the new curriculum. Interesting. I think this is actually a good thing, because now we will see where the CBC curriculum is taking our young ones. But anyway, that's it for the newspapers, the Daily Nation and also the Standard. You can grab a copy of your favorite. But remember, right here, Hope FM and also Hope TV, we bring you news. Hope FM at the top of every hour, you get to be updated. And at Hope TV, DRA at 7 p.m. and also Newswatch at 9 p.m. is going to be bringing you news fresh as they come. So you can tune in, and I know that you will get to be informed. So let's take a break even as we look at the video of the day today.